press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to your English class. Today we are going to do the third supplementary reading that is there, A Great Martyr Ever Cherished. Okay, so this is the third supplementary reading, A Great Martyr Ever Cherished. Now you have 4 supplementary reading that is there, and two will be done, and the third one is the great martyr ever cherished. Now this martyr, who is a martyr? A martyr is a person who gives his life away, okay, for a cause that is there. Here it's for the country, to protect the dignity of the country. Our martyr over here is Hanif Uddin. Okay, his name is Hanif Uddin. So this was edited by this reading that's given for you was edited by Meha Mathur and Tessie Koshi. Okay, Meha Mathur and Tessie Koshi. Now here, he's a soldier. Hanif Uddin is a soldier and he has given his life for the country. So that's why it's written, A Great Martyr Ever Cherished. Okay, he was a great martyr. Ever cherished was, out of all of them, he was the one who had made a lot of impact. Okay, and people loved him. People loved him very much, and his name has been through the years, and everybody's words fall less for what they have to describe about him. In a way to say, they have no words to describe about this man, Hanif Uddin, who has done a lot for the country, and they feel that he has given his heart and soul for what his duty called him for. So he is very cherished. Okay, he's remembered for a long time to come that is there. He was being loved very much. He is remembered for what he has been done. So that's why a great martyr ever cherished. Okay, he is someone whose name you will never forget in the years to come. That kind of an impact that he has done. Now we had a lot of political leaders who were talking about us, isn't it? Who were talking about our rights and other things in the past. And we still remember them. Now Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, why do we remember that man? Because of the influence that he showed on us. He can also be a person who has been ever cherished. People loved him so much because of what he did, because of how he portrayed himself to be, how his character was to be. Now this man, Hanif Uddin, he was also one kind of a person. He was a soldier. Okay, he was a soldier. What we're going to do is we'll go line by line and read it. Open your copies in page number 189. Follow what I'm reading. Alright, we'll read the introduction first and then we will move on. We often come to know from the newspaper accounts how our young soldiers aspire to live and die for our country. They are ready to sacrifice everything. Here is a profile of a young soldier who gave up his life at the age of 25. People live and die, but continue to live forever in the hearts of patriots. Read on to know and cherish the memory of such great souls. Now, the sentence I want you to pick up here is, a young soldier who gave up his life at the age of 25. Okay, so he was a martyr at the age of 25. People live and die, but continue to live forever in the hearts of patriots. Okay, people who are willing to do something. Okay, now this martyr of ours, he has given his life for the country. Okay, this we are going to start it. Why is he being cherished? Because he was such a nice man. He was a grateful person always. Though he gave his life at a very young age, 25 is very young. Yet he knew what his duty was. So we'll go on to read how this man has been in the hearts of everyone. The sand-like life slipped away forever as he continued to live on. Now what happened? Now if you go to the beach side or any sand if you find anywhere, just hold the sand, it slips away from your hand. The sand slips away from your hand. Have you seen it? If you have not, please go and mud doesn't fall so easily. This mud that is there doesn't fall so easily just as the sand falls in. So that's a reference that's given over here. The sand, when you just pick it up, have you seen an hourglass? Okay. Okay, there is sand over here and tipping and falling down over here, okay? An hourglass, what's happening? The sand is sinking down over here because there is a small hole that is there. You can make your hourglass on your own, use those soft drink bottles and make one, okay? You can use it for your studies and all when you have to set some time. Okay, this was used earlier, isn't it? So what's happening here? The sand is slipping. Even when you hold it in your hand, the sand slips. So what's the reference over here is the sand like life slipped away forever. Sand like life, he was there everywhere, he was present everywhere. He made an impact on everybody's heart as he continued to live on. Now he slipped away, that is he passed away, okay, he died. But he continued to live on. That is, even though he died, he was always cherished, he was always remembered, he went on to live in the hearts of people. That's what the meaning of the sentence is, okay? We are going to begin it. Enter the Hanif Uddin household and a warm smile will beckon you to the step right in. Now if you enter Hanif Uddin's house, they give you a broad smile that is there and they will welcome you, okay? A smile that will always catch your heart, a smile, certain people have such beautiful smiles that you will always be appreciative of what they did, or it's beautiful to see them, okay? So that's how what's happening in Hanif Uddin's house. So as you enter his house, they give anybody and everybody a warm smile that is there, okay? And beacon is, it will automatically invite you in, okay? It will automatically call you, that's the way of hospitality, isn't it? That's the way you call someone for. Have you seen the air hostess or people in the hotels, the receptionist in the hotel? They do their duty, they are doing their duty. We may think they are not favoring certain things, but they are doing their duty, we must respect them. They give you a warm smile, please smile back at them, okay? When you smile, there's no loss at all. So whenever you find, if you find an air hostess or if you find people at the reception, people who are smiling at you, if you go to the hospitals also, there are people who will give you a warm smile, people in the offices, anywhere. Okay, smile back at them, okay? Now, the beacon is, you feel invited in, okay? So when you stand at the doorstep of Hanif Uddin's house, as soon as they give that beautiful smile that is there, you feel that you are welcomed, okay, accepted. But that's all the smile can do as it beams from within the confines of a picture frame, okay? Now, you must understand this. It's a contradictory reference that is there. Now this was a smile that is always there when you entered his household. It is always there. Where is it there? But that's all the smile can do as it beams from within the confines of a picture frame. So that's there in the photograph there. A picture frame is a photograph there on the wall there, and from the confines, from that picture, from the photograph or from the picture frame is what you can see that smile. A mere memory, see that boy smiling there, okay? So that's the picture frame that is there. A mere memory, painful and brave, the smile belongs to the 25-year-old Martyr, Lieutenant Hanif Uddin, okay? So he has only been a memory. It's very painful to lose him. He was a very brave man. He was a very brave man. So this is a smile that you feel welcomed, okay? This smile that you feel invited is whose? Is 25-year-old Lieutenant Hanifuddin's smile. Okay, the smile that you can see on page number 189, a picture there, is the same portrait that is displayed in his house. And so as soon as you enter, right in front of your eyes, you have Hanifuddin smiling at you always. Okay, so that you feel welcomed. But what is remaining with them? A mere memory that is there, painful situations that are there, and a remembrance of how brave he was. All right? Okay, belongs to a 25-year-old Martyr lieutenant, that's Hanifuddin. As you take a deep breath and try to avert the pain that comes from knowing of a young life cut short, you will notice a large picture of snow-capped mountain peaks of the Turtuk sector in Kargil, now called sub-sector Hanif, in memory of Hanifuddin's bravery. Okay? Alright. Now as you are taking a deep breath and trying to get away the pain, okay, avert the pain, is trying to get away the loss of Hanifuddin, because everybody knows that his life was very short. 25 is very young. Okay, 25 years is very young. Everybody is feeling the pain of that young man leaving them. When they felt that his life was cut short at a very young age, okay, you will see a large picture that is there, snow-capped, okay, snow that is there on the mountains, okay, snow-capped, okay, snow-covered, snow-capped, like a bottle cap, snow-covered, snow-capped mountain peaks of the Turtuk sector in Kargil. So you can see the mountains of the Kargil there, which is now called as the sub-sector Hanif, which is now called sub-sector Hanif, in whose memory, in Hanifuddin's bravery, memory of Hanifuddin's bravery, this sector is called as sub-sector Hanif. Moving on, perhaps Hanifuddin, or Khalifa as his friends called him, knew what he would do, what he would be able to give to the nation. Now his friends called him what? His friends called him Khalifa. Okay. Now his friends knew him as a man who could do anything for the nation. Okay, who would be able to give it to the nation, who was ready always for his duty. Which probably explains why Hanifuddin, who hailed from a family of musicians, chose to join the army. Now Hanifuddin's family are all musicians, but he had a different viewpoint and he went on to join the army. Perhaps Hanifuddin also knew that life for him was short and so needed to repeatedly remind himself of his mission. He knew if he goes to the army, he will have to fight the war and he may lose his life or he may come back, nothing was sure, but he knew, if I'm going to die, then my life is very short in the coming war that I'm going to fight. Though he knew it, he kept on reminding himself for what he was called for. He was called to serve the nation, isn't it? He kept on reminding himself that I have been called to protect my nation, to protect my country, and that's where I'll have to go. That's where I will have to put my heart and soul into, and that's where everything of my life will go into. Okay, so he repeatedly needed to remind himself of the mission. One can only surmise, okay, from a flashcard found amongst his belongings, which simply said, "We change lives." So surmise is guess. Okay, you're guessing something, making a speculation, something like that. It may happen. Okay. You're just giving an overview, something, not a perfect decision as such, but something wavering there. One can only surmise from a flashcard. There was a flashcard that was written. Okay, some have the habit of making cards and writing positive things, so it'll enhances. Our Hanifuddin also had a way of writing these flashcards and keeping it for himself. Now his belongings were kept, that is, his things were kept in and around. And one of the flashcards said, "We change lives." Who changes lives? He said, we meaning soldiers, we change lives. Okay. Fate had ensured that Hanifuddin would battle with hardships from a tender age. Now Hanifuddin's fate, okay, we say karma, isn't it? Fate was written in such a way that he had to have difficulties from a very young age. Have you heard some people saying, I'm always in difficulty. From a very young age I had to suffer and I am still suffering. Our Hanifuddin's fate was also in the same way, where he had to suffer a lot during his childhood, and also went on to suffer, also went on to give his self, isn't it, for the country. So at a very tender age, a very young age, he had to take on all the difficulties, hardships, okay, difficulties from his life. When he was just 8 years old, Hanif lost his father, who had been an artist associated with the National School of Drama. So at the age of 8, Hanif lost his father. At the age of 8 is very small. If you see the schooling years, you're only in 3rd standard. Okay, so very small to understand the loss of their father. When he was just 8 years old, Hanif lost his father, who had been an artist associated with the National School of Drama. Okay, his father was working for the National School of Drama. An artist is someone who is trained, a professional. Okay, a professional in any field who is trained is an artist. Okay, there's a T-E there, please add, there's a spelling mistake. Left to take care of 3 young boys, Hanif's mother, Hema Aziz, a vocal artist, would often have to leave Hanif and his brothers alone as she travelled with the performance wing of the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. So the mother, on the other hand, was also working. The father was working for the National School of Drama. The mother was working for the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. And the mother's name is Hema Aziz. She was a vocal artist, okay, a voiceover artist. Would often have to leave Hanif, okay, would have often have to leave Hanif and his brothers alone. Why she had to leave Hanif and his brothers alone? Because she was the only breadwinner of the family that time. She had to earn for the family, earn and bring food for the family. So she would leave Hanif and his brothers alone when she had to go and give performances. She was a vocal artist. When she had to give her performances with the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Okay. Recalls Hema Aziz. I had a touring job and was out very often, and the kids became very responsible, getting up and getting ready for school without my having to tell them. Okay, I didn't have to tell them in so many words, but my going to work without excuses gave them the message that one's duty is the most important thing in life. So Hema Aziz, their mother, is recalling something that she thought about in the past. She said, I had a touring job, that is I had a touring job, that is I had to move around, I had to go every here and there, and then I was never at a particular place everywhere. I was not at home always, but I had to move and tour everywhere, roam everywhere. For what? Her job was such. She says, when my job was such, my kids became very responsible. Who are her kids? Hanifuddin and his brothers became very responsible. In doing what? In getting up and getting ready for school. Okay, the mother need not tell them, because now they have learned that they must know their responsibilities, and they take it because the mother is not available. Okay, so getting up and getting ready for school, mother says, without me telling them, without I telling them, they would have done everything on their own. I didn't have to tell them in so many words, but my going to work without excuse. She said, I didn't get any chance to tell them, see, this is how you have to do, this is what you have to do, this is, no. She says, because I went to work without any excuse, that is, I didn't take any off or such, but when my duty called me, I was always present. She says, but my going to work without excuse gave them the message that one's duty is most important thing in life. So she says, whenever I went for duty, without giving any reasons, without giving any excuses, she says, what my children learned was, one's duty is the most important thing in life. So always be present for the duty that you are called for. any profession that you take. She was a vocal artist, so she had to perform in places, and she was always present with her team in order to perform what has to be performed. So she was touring and children were left alone. She says, my children have become very responsible beings without me there and without me telling them to do anything. Okay. While Hanif's elder brother Nafisuddin, okay, Hanif's elder brother's name is Nafisuddin, he went on to become a teacher and was at the J.D. Tyler School, New Delhi. At the time of the tragedy, his younger brother took to composing music on the Casio. Alright, now 3 brothers, okay, 3 brothers, Hanif and 2 brothers. So elder brother was Nafisuddin. He went on to become a teacher at the J.D. Tyler School in New Delhi, so he was teaching there at the time of Hanif's tragedy that happened. So his elder brother was working there as a teacher. His younger brother took to composing music on his Casio. Now they are a family of musicians, so the younger fellow, the last one, took to composing music on the Casio, a musical instrument that is there, okay, Casio. Then Hanif would often team up with him on the drums. So Hanif also had a flair. What's flair? We have discussed in one of the classes in Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Flair is talent, okay, your skill. Hanif also had a flair for music, and he would accompany his brother in playing the drums. Okay, so both the brothers, one used to play the Casio, one used to play the drums, and that was like a talent in blood. Okay, it was already ingrained in them because the family was such of a musician family. So that's how they had to their work. An introvert, Hanif began to make friends only by the time he was 14 years of age. Okay, now and there are 3 kinds. Okay, an introvert, an extrovert, and an ambivert. An introvert person, he or she is not that social. That is, they don't like to mingle with people, they don't like a lot of people around them, they like themselves, they like their company, and they are fine. It's not that they don't talk to anybody, they do talk, but they are comfortable with only few people, and that's their day, that will go on. But an extrovert person is, they can just adjust with anybody, just like the flow of water, they can adjust with anybody and everybody in and around them, and they are very social, like cheerful people always. Ambivert is a balance in both of these, okay, extrovert and the introvert. So both sides are always present. Now our Hanif was an introvert. That is, he didn't like mingling with people a lot, he didn't like a lot of people around him, but at what age did he start to make friends? At a year lesser than you, 14 years of age. He would often go out of his way to help people because that gave him a certain kind of joy. Now what was he trying to do? At the age of 14, he just, it's like the shoots that are shooting of the plant, okay? The buds that blossom into flowers. So here our Hanif, when he was 14 years of age, he realized that he can mingle with people, or he can make friends. Then he went on to help a lot of people in and around him, because he said, I get joy out of it, I get happiness, I feel cheerful, I feel contented out of it, okay. That gave him a certain kind of joy, so he went on to help people in and around him. In fact, this was the quality his seniors recounted when they came to meet him after his death, explains the mother. So his seniors who were there in school, they recounted, that is, they gave a flashback, and they told that Hanifuddin was a person who would always go on to help people because that gave him a lot of happiness. So when they came to meet the family after Hanif's death, this is what they expressed to the mother, and the mother has expressed it to us. Okay, so we'll stop at this, students. We'll go with the remaining part in the next class, and we can wind up this story that is there. It's an interesting one. You can take inspiration out of it. Okay, thank you very much for listening.